Good morning, artists. Today we are going to be making patterned leaves, doing something called watercolor resist. So you are going to need oil pastels. It looks something like this. They're kind of like crayons, but they're made with oil. You are going to need watercolor paints, and you will need a water cup and brush. Now, if you don't have oil pastels at home, you can still do the activity, but with markers instead. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be drawing 3 different types of leaves. We're going to be drawing the yellow poplar leaf, which looks like this. We're going to be drawing the elm leaf, which looks like this one. And we're going to be learning to draw the aspen leaf, which looks like this. And then you're going to use your scissors to cut them out at the very end. So one thing you'll notice about leaves is that they are symmetrical on both sides. What's on this side is a mirror image on this side. Leaves also have something in the insides of them called veins. You see those lines going up the middle and on either side. So we're going to try to draw those today. So we're going to start with the yellow poplar leaf. So we are going to draw first the line going up the middle, like that, like a curved line. And then on either side, it kind of curves out and up like this. Okay? Kind of like a U, a big U. Like imagine you came from this side and you came down and made a U shape. Okay, then it cuts in a little bit, just a little bit. And then it goes up and up, like that. Okay, it keeps going up and up. And then it cuts in towards that middle line like a V. All right, that's the yellow poplar. Now I'm going to put the veins on my leaf that come out from the center line. Okay, and I'll do the same thing on the other side because leaves are symmetrical. All right, that's the poplar leaf. Now let's do the elm. Notice how the elm leaf has jagged edges. They're not perfectly smooth. So once again, I'm going to add my stem here. There, now the poplar is complete. All right, so I'm going to do the elm by putting in a center line like that. And then I'm going to, from the bottom, curve out. And then I'm going to curve in towards that upper point. It gets large, and then it gets skinny, and it curves in. Now, as we said, the edges are jagged. So now I'm going to kind of go back on my edges, and I'm going to make some jagged lines, or zigzags. All right, like that. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. Zigzag lines. So it's jagged. Okay, and that is the, I forgot the veins. So look closely. See the vein lines coming out from the middle. So I'm going to put those on. Like this. Okay. Okay. Now I've done the yellow poplar, the elm, and now it's time to do the aspen, which is kind of the upside down heart shape. So for the aspen, I'm once again going to start by putting in the middle line. So I'm going to curve like this. And then it's sort of like an upside down heart. Okay, it curves out. Okay, on that side. And my board got a little bit in the way. Okay, so what you could do is you could flip the paper over and then just make a heart. All right, that would help with the leaf. Now I'm going to come back and do the stem. And then I'm going to add in the veins on the leaf. Like this. Okay. Now I want to make these leaves jazzy. I'm going to jazz them up. So I'm going to fill them with Zentangle designs, or line designs as they're also called, similar to what we did last week when we made the turkeys. So I'm going to do some zigzags in the stem on this leaf. Okay, and maybe I'll do some circles on the stem on this leaf. Or sorry, in between each of the veins. I shouldn't say stem. Okay, I can do all kinds of cool and different and interesting line designs. I could do vertical lines and then do a horizontal line through it to create like a checkerboard pattern. I could do polka dots. I could color in my dots a little bit. Okay, I could do a repeating U shape, like that. Okay. And what you'll notice with oil pastels is wherever you put the oil pastel, it's going to push the watercolor away. And that's because oil and water don't mix. They don't like each other. Okay, the oil rejects the water. So that's why it's this project is nice to do with oil pastels. But if you don't have them at home, you can use markers, because watercolor is a very light paint. It's very watery, and therefore the marker shows through when you put watercolor on top. So I'm just continuing to add some designs. I could do squares inside here. Okay, I could do, maybe some are colored in solid. I'm going to color this one in yellow. Okay, and let me just get a few more designs down. Maybe some diagonal lines on this one. And I could do like a, heart shape. Doing just vertical lines now. Okay, and once you've really filled your leaves with designs, then it's time to open your watercolors and paint over top on your leaves. So I'm going to make this one orange, like this. And wherever I put the oil pastel, it shows through. Right, like it doesn't, see I colored that section in yellow, and you can see it's rejecting the oil pastel. It's kind of pushing it away. You can really see it there with the blue. I'm going to paint this leaf in. I'm going to wash my brush when I change colors, and maybe I'll do this leaf a nice purple. Ooh, this is a jazzy leaf. Purple leaf, Miss Grace. Oh my gosh. We're getting just wild and crazy. Ooh, maybe a rainbow leaf. That could be cool. Okay, so I'm going to paint the stem. All right, so you get the idea. You're going to paint in your leaves, okay, until you have them colored and filled the way you like. And then you're going to take some time practicing scissor work. So you're going to cut out the shape of your leaves. So I'm going to start here with the stem. And then what you'll notice is that as I cut, I turn my paper. See how I rotate it? And now I'm turning it back the other way as I cut up the leaf. And now watch. As I get out to this point, I'm going to again slightly turn my paper. Okay, now I want to cut in. So look, I turned my paper again. And now I've got my scissors there. Turn the paper back. Cut up, turn the paper again, cut in. Okay, so the key to cutting out organic shapes is rotating and turning your paper as you cut. Okay. And now sometimes it's helpful to just start from the bottom. Here we go. Start from the bottom of the stem again. And there I have one cut out. Another trick for cutting things out is instead of going right for the fine details, separate the shape from the rest of the paper. So that way you're more in control. So watch. I don't need this piece. I don't need this piece anymore. Okay, and I want to separate this leaf from this leaf before I really focus on cutting it out. So now it's loose. Now it's free from that big cumbersome paper. Okay, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to really focus on trying to cut the little details. Okay, so now I'm going to turn my paper and I'm going to start doing those jagged edges that I know are very distinctive of the elm leaf. See how I turn my paper as I cut? Turning it, okay? Cut, turn, cut, turn, cut, turn, cut, turn, turn. And see that nice jagged edge? Okay. It's much easier to do detail work when you're cutting if you've separated the object from the larger whole. So have fun making your leaves, and you can cut all 3 of them out, and then if you have any string at home, you can punch a hole in the leaf and you can hang it. You can hang it from different places in the house. You can make nice decorations. All right. Don't forget to post your work on Seesaw.